Hello, everybody. Welcome to Visual Communication to Media. My name is Adam Rosetsky. It's a pleasure to see each and every one of you. Hope everyone's excited for this week. About halfway through the course, finally hit week 4. Start taking a look at our project this week. Take a look at persuasion and emotional communication, how it kind of ties in with a lot of different things, and really getting in depth of a lot of different aspects about culture and how they really play a part with different aspects. And we're going to totally get into that. So yeah, this week, we're going to talk a lot about emotional communication, persuasion, culture based upon different things, mood setting lighting, mood setting colors, a lot of different elements that play a part with this. We'll also take a look at some technical responses as well and how they kind of play a part with everything. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's take a look, and we got a lot of different aspects to take a look about this. So yeah, let's go into it. So this week, we're going to talk a lot about persuasive communication, how it ties into emotional communication. And the goal of persuasion is to convince or deter someone of some certain group of choice. And persuasive techniques are technically used from a lot of different elements. There are a lot of different persons. So they're really explained from different people, such as politicians, businesses, doctors, lawyers, teachers, and pretty much anyone that kind of uses something to convince someone that, hey, this is a great idea. So yeah, persuasive communication is used all the time, not just verbally, but visually. And it's used visually tons of times. We see this a lot in different court cases where people try to bring like visual aids to evidence. We try to see this a lot with advertisements, where advertisements try to showcase a lot of different elements that play a part with that as well. So yeah, those all are big indicators of how that works. So persuasive communication, when we see it in a visual element, is kind of split into two styles of demographics. So when you see something that's visual that's trying to persuade someone, they usually focus on two main things about the demographic they're going after. They focus on their age and what they're trying to do a lot of times. So it's based upon age and activity. So when you see a lot of advertisements, you usually see it's focused around like age and what they're working on or what they're doing. And that's kind of the goal of it a lot. And that's how persuasion works with a lot of different cultures. But they focus on those two main elements when you're trying to persuade somebody. So when you take a look at these advertisements to the right, we see a lot of different elements. For example, we see for this elderly couple that's very happy, smiling, enjoying themselves. We see the words in a very fun, curvy style font of now is your time to relax, time to enjoy yourself, time to visit the places you want to visit. And just go enjoy yourself. So obviously the activity is going to travel and enjoy places. And it's just really this element of really focusing on elderly people where it's like, hey, you have all this time left. Make sure you go enjoy it. Really, spend time like you don't really have much time left. So have fun taking the vacations in the areas that you really want to go to about. And that's what they're really going to be focusing on for that aspect. Now for this advertisement's below, it's a Bud Light advertisement. I love how they're like big, confident, like bold letterings and lines and big colors that usually focus on a lot of like golds and blacks and like the greens and blues they use for like the relaxing elderly advertisement above. They're obviously saying, are we having Bud Light yet? And they replaced the word fun with Bud Light as the imagery right there of going out. I also love how it's tied to younger audience. So obviously the action is they're socializing, going out and having a late night fun. And it's with younger audience. Primarily, I think males. I think this is more toward males because usually when you see this stuff right here, it's like, hey, I'm a guy and you can get all these girls if you're going with Bud Light. That's a thing that actually sees all that stuff. But they really focus on younger audience where it's just a group just going out and having a good time, and they're using Bud Light as the reference for it. And obviously the age is younger audience, activity is going out. And that's how you can tell a lot about when you look at a persuasive communication device and the fact that it really showcases just age and activity. Like that's a lot of times you can break down a persuasive advertisement on those two elements. So cool. So yeah, that was just pretty kind of intro into that. We'll go a little bit more further into it with the lecture. A lot of cool things about that. We'll talk a lot about emotional communication. We'll talk a lot about technical communication, how it kind of plays a part with that, and a lot of different elements, and how these things really apply with a lot of different aspects. So this week, the two written analysis that we did was just kind of like a warm-up for what we're trying to do for your final project for week 5. So this week, you're going to work on the outline, kind of build out all the topic sentences for each of your main sections and points and examples. And that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be building your outline this week. You're not going to be doing the whole paper. You're just going to be doing the outline. You're going to be creating your thesis statement, your outline, and trying to get the main points across of what you're trying to do for your main paper. It's just structuring what your paper is going to be read. So all you have to do is really just fill in the rest with the data and the points and all the different examples that's kind of tying into it. That's what you're doing this week. So the course project is you're going to be writing a 6-page written paper that focuses on analyzing a whole website's visuals. And this is of your choosing. Please choose like a professional website. And we'll go over this in lecture, but a little bit more in detail. But this analysis is going to be, and you're going to be analyzing a website. And I'm including all the web pages, the sub pages about it, and finding visuals that trigger specific responses. You're going to be finding 2 visuals of each type that will do 2 different types of sensory responses, perceptual responses, technical responses, emotional responses, and ethical responses. You're going to find 2 visuals, each covering one type of each of those types of responses, or one example of each of those types. So, because there's multiple examples you can do. Like, for example, if you go into sensory, you can do based off of color. You can do it off of lines, contrast, balance, organizational aspects. There's so many ways you can go about that. Same thing with perceptual. You can use cognitive memories, cultural familiar elements. How is the visual built to trigger that specific response based off of that response type? That's what I want to see. I want to see at least 2 different types that you guys describe using 2 visuals from the web page in each section. And that's what I want you to explain, and also explain why this element is important to consider for each element. And I'll go over that in the lecture and get you set up. I'll also provide examples. You can see how things are done. That way you don't feel like you're like, oh my gosh, this is a really big paper. Don't worry. I'm going to set you up for success. I'm going to give you guys some examples and some things to guide you and what I'm kind of looking for. So hopefully that'll help you out. Other than that, that's pretty much it. We'll go over in lecture a lot more in detail. So don't feel worried about it. I got you set up. Everything's going to be great. So cool. Other than that, that's pretty much all I got. Enjoy your holiday. Be safe. Have fun. Enjoy. Take it easy. And if you need anything, send me a message. I'm always here for you. All right, everybody. Have fun. Bye-bye.